ladies and gentlemen, to another wonderful episode of the Wonders of Science with Mr. Whybrew. This is Season 3, Episode 16, and in this episode, we're going to answer the question, what are giants? Anyone know? Anyone want to take a guess? Anyone? Alright, so let me go ahead and answer the question. For one thing, when people hear the word giants, they usually think of large people, and I'm not referring to that. Instead, I'm referring to how that term is used in astronomy, and it's one of the four major groupings of stars. Remember a couple videos back we talked about those four major groupings, and this was one of them. So how is it defined within that context? Well, a giant is defined as a star with a substantially larger radius and luminosity in comparison to a main sequence star of the same surface temperature. In other words, it's comparing it, and it says, okay, based on this surface temperature, they have the same surface temperature. These particular stars have a substantially means a much larger radius, in other words, how big it is, and also in its luminosity, how bright it is. Now, an example of a giant star is a blue giant star called Rigel. Now, this giant star is quite a far away from us, okay? But it shines brighter than our sun, and in particular, it has actually a luminosity that is actually 40,000 times that of our sun, which is amazing when you think of that brightness. Now, where is it located? Well, it's located within the constellation Orion. Now, if you've ever studied various constellations within science, you'll know what I'm talking about. Plus, if you get a chance, you should look it up and see it. It's pretty cool. These constellations are groupings of stars that we just see shapes because of just how they're formed. Pretty cool. But the fact is, we can see this star. Is amazing, but consider that it's 40,000 times brighter than our sun. And so that's the reason we can see it from such a large distance away. Now, something to keep in mind, because I did mention that it was a blue giant star. Well, stars come in different colors based on how cool and how hot they are. In other words, the cooler stars are on what's called like the red end of the spectrum, and the ones that are hotter are on the blue end of the spectrum. Just thought I'd throw that out. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's now move to our fun science fact of the day. Get this. When the moon is half full, in other words, during first and last quarter phases, it's only 10% as bright as the full moon itself. So it's not the full luminosity of that particular object. Pretty interesting to think about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for another wonderful episode of the Wonders of Science with Mr. Whybrew. Keep an eye out for the question that will be at the end of the video. And as always, enjoy the wonders of science. Take care, good day, and goodbye.